Done. Okay. Nevertheless, yeah, let's go again. So welcome again. That's just from my side and from all the colleagues at UNDP and the University of Bradford. The purpose of this virtual signing ceremony is because of a number of reasons, but mainly we want to have this virtual signing ceremony concluded today in order for us to finalize the rest of the program or process for this partnership between the University of Bradford and UNDP in Namibia. This includes a visit by the colleagues from the University of Bradford that we will be working towards planning and finalizing for a visit in country within the next couple of months. Hopefully before the end of March this year, we will have colleagues from the University of Bradford visiting us in Namibia. This visit will also include several bilateral engagements UNDP intends to facilitate along with our 3 local tertiary institutions in Namibia, but I will allow for Alka to speak a lot more around that. So really the objective today is just for everyone to have an idea around the MOU. Most of the colleagues from UNDP have already seen this MOU. If you have not seen it, please do drop me a line and I'll share the MOU with you for all colleagues to have an idea of what has been stipulated in this particular MOU. So with no further ado, I would like to ask for Professor Irani, if you could kindly introduce yourself real briefly and then go ahead and deliver your remarks on behalf of the University of Bradford. Thank you. Over.
Thank you very much, Geraldine. A very warm welcome to colleagues in Namibia from a relatively cold Bradford. We've just had our first snowfall of the year, so we're all very much trying to stay warm at the moment. I'm really delighted to be here representing the university and to be joined by my colleagues, really to demonstrate the university's commitment to the UN Sustainable Development Goals, but also our broader commitment to supporting diversity, inclusion, and social mobility. As an institution with strong ethical values, it's incumbent on me and my colleagues to really work hard right across the world to support professional staff, but also to support those that are seeking to make significant improvements through their education and personal development. And that is indeed what is at the heart of our commitment to this relationship with UNDP Namibia, which as an institution of higher education, we're really very keen to try and see how and in what way is the university going to support colleagues in the field that are really having an impact on many people's lives. And we plan to do that through supporting and developing colleagues by ensuring that there is a pathway to their own personal and professional development, by registering on fully scholarship developed programs of development at master's level, but also making sure that the university is able to support colleagues in the field through developing tailored bespoke programs of development, where hopefully we'll be able to deliver those again in country to senior team members of UNDP Namibia. So I'm really keen that the university is going to be supporting colleagues. We've got an absolute moral imperative to try and do everything we can as a University of Higher Education, and our principles, ethics and values are very much aligned to, I know, what colleagues are doing. We had a very warm series of meetings with Geraldine when you visited Bradford, and I think you got a strong sense of our commitment to sustainability when we hosted our annual summer school that was attended by many hundred students from all over the world, and we're very keen to continue doing that, and hopefully we'll be able to benefit from your learning and your development, but equally support your learning and development through our academic research that we do that's very much embedded into our curriculum. Our curriculum is research enriched, it's practice informed, it's intellectually challenging, and it's very internationally relevant. And I'm really pleased that we'll be welcoming students from UNDP Namibia and hopefully partner institutions in country onto our programs, and look forward to collaboration further over the next year or two. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Irani. And yes, definitely visiting the university has been an eye-opener, and I really hope that many more UNDP Namibia staff have the opportunity to have that engagement. I can definitely attest to that. Okay, so Alka, over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Geraldine. A very warm welcome to all participants online. Particularly, I recognize Professor Irani, Professor Sivaraja, and also Professor Vishant Virakodi. We're very happy to be here today. Finally, I may say, to actually give effect to what we've been trying to do for the past few months. So, and I'm happy that we have our colleagues from UNDP. I'm not too sure how many people are there from the University of Bradford, but really good. And Professor Irani, it's become a little, we are actually trying to mirror the cold in Bradford. Today it's getting a little cold today because of the rain which we have been experiencing for the past few days here. So it's quite pleasant and a little chilly as well. But we are delighted because in Namibia, such an arid country, when we receive rain, it's a real blessing. So I don't really want to get into a long spiel in terms of this, but just to say that for UNDP, we are quite excited about this partnership because it's only through partnerships such as this, and particularly with the academia, that we can push forward our agenda in terms of achieving the sustainable development goals. And it's not often that one comes across an institution like the University of Bradford, which is so heavily invested in pushing forward sustainable development. So we actually have a very common sort of an objective and goal, and it is but natural that we should then partner and make this contribution and towards fostering innovation. How do we encourage further digital transformation and generate evidence-based research, particularly with regard to data, and also in progressing economic development in our country, in Namibia. And we set great store by this transfer of knowledge and skills between the University of Bradford as well as the UNDP. We are working around the People for 2030 agenda, and that entails for UNDP staff as well to be equipped with modern and effective management tools and policies. And given the great feedback that we have received from Geraldine, there is a lot of anticipation and excitement amongst colleagues here in UNDP Namibia in terms of how we can further this exchange and knowledge of and transfer of knowledge and skills. So we are finally at that point where we would be signing this formal signing ceremony of the Memorandum of Understanding, which would cover very important areas of work, which is research and also peer reviewing products and publications and capacity building towards the sustainable development agenda. And we look forward to the customized micro MBA program that you had undertaken to provide UNDP Namibia with, as well as certain scholarships for Namibians, and which is compatible with the mission of UNDP. We are very passionate here in UNDP Namibia in terms of investing heavily on human development, human capital development, because a strength of a nation really doesn't lie in only its physical or natural resources, but in a very well capacitated, skilled human resource base. And towards that end, I think University of Bradford, also in partnership, which we will facilitate with the academia in Namibia, can really contribute towards. And for immediately, obviously, we are looking forward that our staff in office in Namibia gets an opportunity also to explore and build up their skill set. But while we also look forward to engaging with the University of Bradford in very critical areas, which are around entrepreneurship development, circular economy, and delivering and social value and tackling climate action. And obviously for us, very important also is the localization of the sustainable development goals, going down to the local level. And I think this is a great example that Bradford University is doing. It's building around the Bradford district and achieving a lot of success. And we would like to utilize some of that learning and practice, tailoring it to our own country-specific context, and seeing how we can encourage the people over here to take action, because in attaining the SDGs, this is, after all, the decade of action. We are well into the decade of action. We need not only global action, but local action and people's action, involving youth, civil society. And we really look forward to learning from your experience in that area. And it's in this regard that we are entering into this partnership with yourselves at the University of Bradford, so that we can leverage your expertise around some of these areas of innovation, technology, data as well. And I also look forward to welcoming you, Professor Irani, and your colleagues, Professor Vishant and Sivaraja, to Namibia. I heard Geraldine say you're planning a visit around Namibia, so around March. So I think that would be a good opportunity. And let's see how we can take this further. Let me stop here. And again, delighted to be here today for this signing ceremony.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Alka.
you.
Thank you, Alka. Definitely resonates with me. And I think if there's anything I also want to just add is just the facilities at the university. We talk about wanting to establish smart facilities and smart cities in Namibia. And if there's anything to go about, I think Bradford University and the vision that they have completely encompass that vision of innovation and technology in the smart facilities that the university has to offer. So, colleagues, without any further ado, I'd like to ask Professor Irani and Ms. Bhatia, each of you should have a copy of the MOU on your desk at this moment. If you would kindly just go ahead and sign that copy for us. The intention would then definitely be that once the team from the University of Bradford arrive in Namibia, we will have another ceremony where we will invite media, all of our external stakeholders and partners, to see that this MOU is then finally signed between both parties on your arrival. So we are intending to plan a bigger program during your visit to Namibia. And then, of course, Alka and Zahir, once you've done, maybe you could just lift it up for us for a second. I'd like to ask Frida, our communications colleague, once both Prof. Irani and Ms. Bhatia have finalized signing, they're going to be lifting it up slightly. If you can just snap a picture for us over there, that would be great. So Frida, if you can give me a thumbs up when you're done with that, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, Frida has given her thumbs up. And then the last request I'd like to ask is for all of our colleagues who are online from UNDP, if you could quickly just switch on your video for a few seconds so Frida can capture everybody's smiling faces, because I hope you're all happy that you may be visiting Bradford soon. I don't know who's going to go. I don't know. I'm not involved in the process. So just also to showcase to the colleagues from the University of Bradford, we've got people from literally all over the country. We've got an Africa Young Women's Fellow, our operations manager, quite a number of colleagues online. So just for a few seconds, I just need you to keep your camera on. Frida is going to take a picture, and once Frida has concluded taking her picture, snapping that off, you can switch your cameras back off, because I think some people are sitting in their cars already. Moala, I see you. There we go. There's that smile. Oh, Toy was also in the car. Okay, Frida, just thumbs up when you're done. Okay, smile also. And Nilau and Daphne are still not on their camera with their cameras, but that's fine. Frida, anything? Not yet. Okay. Okay, while we're smiling for the camera, Prof. Wirakodi, I'm going to ask you to please get ready just for some closing remarks. I don't know if Sankar wants to add anything to that. Shake? No. No, you're good. Okay, when you visit Namibia, you can have all of the floor for conversation. Okay, Frida, just maybe just a quick heads up from you. Are we done with the photo over there?
Should we remove the screen, because I can see on my screen only the top window, and then you have the virtual sharing of the, because should we take out the sharing of the screen? Yeah,
There we go.
I think.
What about that? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just need to get a thumbs up from Frida that she captured her communications material there.
Yes, good to go, Jara. Thank you.
We're done. Thank you so much, Frida. Okay, so then I'm going to hand over to Professor Wirakodi to just provide just brief closing remarks for us. If you could maybe also just, you know, touch on a little bit of what both Prof. Irani and Ms. Bhatia have mentioned. Over.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Geraldine, and thank you, Alka and Zahia, for signing and your remarks as well. So I think both Alka and Zahia have outlined the vision, and Geraldine, you have quite eloquently spoken about Bradford. So I think from my perspective, we just now need to look at how we are going to, obviously we are going to have a face-to-face signing in Namibia sometime in the next couple of months. What I would like to do is to start with some of the activities that we have outlined in the MOU. You know, we talk about research, we talk about enhancing capacity building, we talk about co-hosting learning events, and we talk about governance, and also the micro MBA and the scholarships that we want to offer to the UNDP staff in Namibia. So there are a couple of activities that we need to start, starting, I guess, with selecting the next cohort of scholarship offers to UNDP Namibia based on your priorities there. Obviously, the MBA is, we want to offer a couple of places for the MBA, but also other programs that we want to open to staff. So Alka, maybe you can have a discussion and you can decide how do you want to progress with the, particularly with the MBA. I think we need to provide a succession planning for you, and Geraldine obviously is going to finish now. In a couple of months, we would like to welcome another MBA candidate. We can follow the same screening process that we had last time, where the potential candidates will submit a business case outlining why they want to do the MBA or any other program that's on offer, and how they're going to use that learning to advance the UN SDGs and some of the priorities that you have in Namibia. So that's one thing. Obviously, how can we kind of start some of the research activities? I think that's something that we can do very quickly. Again, we have at Bradford, in all our programs within the business school, something called Bradford Business Challenge, where we look at local problems, but also we look at sustainable development goals. So we can get our masters and undergraduate students to look at some of the challenges that you're facing in Namibia, and perhaps maybe even the rest of the world based on your knowledge. So students will undertake a 3-month project that is research based, and they will write up a report, which will be their dissertation, which can then be presented to you, and a copy of that research can be made available to you. Obviously, no names of individuals or organizations will be identified there. Everything will be anonymized for the purpose of data protection and research. So again, if we can start some of these activities before we make the visit, so that once we visit, then we have some work completed. So scholarships deciding, that's one thing, and the sustainable development goals challenges. So if you can provide us with the list of maybe, I don't know, start off with 5 to 10 potential projects that students can undertake virtually, perhaps through doing some interviews with your staff, doing research on the web, publicly available information about Namibia, whether it's poverty alleviation, whether it's education, aging populations, etc. The research can be done, and information can be provided to you based on the findings. The other bit that I want to kind of highlight is the universities in Namibia. So we talked about supporting your agenda on data analytics, identifying decisions being taken based on data, and providing some sort of expertise and support. And we would really like to work with the universities in Namibia to do this. And this will be helpful because then even if we are using students such as PhD students, they can actually physically visit Namibia, undertake some research, be based at those universities, and we can look at joint kind of curriculum, whether it's degree level curriculum or whether it's more continuous professional development based curriculum for your staff and the broader public administration staff that are working in Namibia. We'd like to partner with those institutions to do it. So kind of get the agenda moving around the scholarships, around the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and then having a conversation, 3 things that I'd really like to achieve before we visit a conversation with the 3 universities there. So I'd like to close with that, I think, and MOUs are really great, but we are very keen to make sure that we act on them. And I think Sahia keeps me reminding when I come up with ideas for MOUs with the universities, what are we going to achieve from it, and how are we going to contribute to the broader social issues. So that's important. But also the master's summer school, I'd like to open it up. I guess Geraldine came up to Bradford last year. We are finalizing the dates of the summer school, which is likely to be in early June. And I'd like to open it up to your staff. And Alka, I would really like to invite you to do a keynote. And we will take care of your transport arrangements and visit Bradford. And I'd really like you to feature in this year's International Masters Summer School, because we are likely to have more demand this year given the success we had last year. So we should finalize the dates within the next week or so, and I'll send you an email so that you can keep those dates in the diary. I think that's from me, and I want to thank Geraldine very sincerely for her efforts in facilitating this, the partnership, which is, I think, very, very important for us given the work we do. We feel that we want to work more broadly with outside of Bradford, and UNDP allows us that opportunity to do some of the work in Africa, and we're also passionate about doing this in Asia as well, in places where generally universities in Europe shy away from going. We want to be there to support people. Thank you very much. Geraldine, over to you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Wirakodi. Thank you so much, Professor Irani, to Alka as well. Sankar, I really appreciate you taking the time out to also being on the signing ceremony this afternoon rather. To all of the colleagues, I have already shared the list of names of colleagues who have indicated their interest in the MBA program. I will reshare this communication with our Deputy Resident Representative, Ms. Anne Mazzara. Unfortunately, Anne is not here today, but I will share that along with the DRR and Professor Wirakodi for us to action and take forward all of the interventions from the MOU. Unless there's anyone that has any pressing matter to discuss, I think we can just, maybe I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Yes, no, maybe, nothing. Great stuff. Okay, then I just want to say thank you again for also, I guess, availing the opportunity for Alka. Alka, you'll absolutely enjoy Bradford. It's a beautiful city. I am completely in awe of everything that's happening there. And I really hope you get to go to deliver the keynote address. It would be amazing. But I will action the list of names as an immediate action before I leave the office today for Prof. Wirakodi to have. And then we can just issue to the colleagues how the process for vetting and application will proceed. Alka, you want to add anything?
Yeah, just again to once again thank Professor Irani and Professor Wirakodi for this. And we, as I said, I genuinely value this partnership, and we really need to, yes, we need to actually move beyond just signing MOUs to make it actionable. And it's not only the academic institutions here that we would like you to kind of, when you visit us, but also perhaps bring some examples and showcase that for the municipalities here, the city of Windhoek and the others who have actually been reaching out to us, because that also gives us an opportunity to see and for them to learn from best practices in terms of localizing the SDGs. And most importantly is obviously the micro MBA program, and a few scholarships for our staff which are interested. We will be in touch with you. But let me also take this opportunity to, if you don't already know, Geraldine is leaving us actually next week. After having taken advantage of the UNDP scholarship to Bradford. We wish her best, all the best, and also to thank her for actively working on this. But having said that, we will let you know who the focal person would be in Geraldine's absence. Otherwise, in any case, you have my contact details. So we feel free to reach out should there be anything. And we'll soon communicate to you the list. And these are some of the things that Geraldine will accomplish before she leaves. In any case, sharing the list of names, etc. And then we'll take it from there.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Can we just have a shout out for Geraldine for absolutely
and she's not
project to an end.
Yeah, she's not going to get away that easily. We are going to catch her when we come to Namibia.
No, definitely. She has, of course, I must let on that obviously it's required a bit of a pushing from my side, but that's fine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the best. Take care and stay warm.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.